Hello and welcome back to One Hive TV. I'm your host T. Wells. I appreciate you for joining us. In this segment today, we're going to take a look at Giveth. If you haven't been to Giveth before, you should go there now. Pause the video, Giveth.io. Keep that tab open. You want to refer back to it later. Version 1 is, of course, live and has been for quite some time. You head over to Giveth.io to give to projects that you like using the XDAI chain for gasless transactions or create a project of your own to raise funds. Version 2, better known as the GIVeconomy, is a massive overhaul of the Giveth project. It's going to be coming in late next month. That's what this video is going to focus on. It's what I had a chance to sit down with the Giveth team and discuss recently. So I'm going to frame the thing up, give an overview, and then talk to the team about the super interesting, really nuanced tokenomics of the Giveconomy. So there are 5 parts to this amazing charity system. The first is the Give Drop. It's an airdrop of GIV tokens to people who have supported public goods in the past. To determine whether or not you are qualified to receive Give tokens, you head on over to the Giveth forum, do a little bit of research and homework there, dig around, you'll find some stuff there that can point you in the right direction. The second part of the Giveconomy is the Give Farms. These offer some liquidity mining opportunities for Give holders. Third, we have the Give Garden. This is an integration with the Garden's DAO ecosystem. Really looking forward to seeing the Giveth DAO live on the Garden's dashboard. Be able to participate in governance and apply Celeste in some really new and interesting ways. The last 2 components of the Giveconomy are truly super fantastic. So we've got the Giveth team to come on and help us understand them a little bit better. We haven't seen anything like this before in charity, or really DeFi for that matter. So we got Griff, Lauren, and Willie to come on and help us understand a little bit more about Givebacks and the Give stream. Okay, so if we could start with the Givebacks here, it sounds like a really interesting donor incentive mechanic. So can you guys tell us a little more about it?
Lauren, do you want to take that one?
Sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the way that the Givebacks work is we have this, right now it's sort of a centralized system, but we have the system of project verification. So right now anybody can add a project onto the DApp like within minutes. You just create a project, type in your description, add a photo, and then your project is there and can start raising funds. But in order to like ensure the quality of some projects, we have a verification process. So if a project wants to get verified, they fill out a type form, and then it gets reviewed by our project verification team, basically just to check to see if they have reputation at stake, check to see where the funds are going to, and go through their website and just look a little bit deeper into the project. And then if they pass the verification process, they get a verification badge on Giveth. And so it says like verified, has like a little circle, it says verified. And then like when you open the project, it has a little check mark that says verified. So all of these projects, if you donate to them, you are eligible for Givebacks. And we're going to have Givebacks rounds that last 2 weeks. So like within a period of like these 2 weeks, if you donate to projects, verified projects on Giveth, then you become eligible for Givebacks. And we're going to have basically like a pool of Give tokens going into that 2-week round. So that gets distributed among the donors to verified projects within the round. And all of this information is going to be on Giveth.io, like on the DApp. And so you can click on the Givebacks page and it will show you the round start date, the round end date, the number of tokens allocated to the round, and then you can like browse verified projects and donate to them. Yeah, and then so people are going to be able to get like a total maximum of 75% of the value of their donation back in Give tokens. So this is like the absolute maximum. So if theoretically in a round, if there was only one person who donated to verified projects, that they couldn't get, even if there was tons of Give available, they wouldn't get all of their Give, all of what they give back in Givebacks, because it's still a donation. It's still giving of yourself in order to support the project that you believe in, but we want to still give the Givebacks as a reward. So the donors can get up to 75% back in Give tokens, but some part again is like going to be claimable, like liquid immediately, and some part of that goes adding into their Give stream.
Yeah, I mean, just to add onto that, it's like when you donate, 100% of your donation goes to the charity, right? But the donors also are rewarded. So the donor is similar to a tax-deductible donation, except without taxes and governments, because we don't need them. We can actually create our own economy to replace that government service, which is curating and rewarding and subsidizing donations using the Give token to actually stake behind projects that you like, and then with those projects that have Give tokens staked, we'll get more Givebacks than the ones that don't have them locked behind the project, right? So it's a give curation mechanism.
It's so awesome, all these sort of interlocking tokenomics, and incentive mechanisms here that you've built into the economy. It's really cool. And my understanding, of course, is that Givebacks also play into the Give stream. So let's talk about the Give stream a little bit. It sounds kind of like a UBI. Is that right?
100%. It's basically a UBI.
Yeah. Willie pulled up the design here. It's like you can actually see the way that we're communicating it. It's like there's going to be the amount that you can claim, and then your stream is going to be flowing into that continuously. So it'll also show like the stream flow rate, shows how much time is remaining. And then this table at the bottom is going to be like when you claim Give from Givebacks, part of that Give goes adding to your Give stream. So you can see like when your flow rate gets an extra 5 Give per week. And then, so it's like every time you interact in the Give economy, you add another element to the table and you add onto your stream and you increase your flow rate. And so this is like the whole concept that we're creating here.
So this is a big experiment, and I think the first experiment with framing vesting as a stream and pushing it that way, because I really think there's in crypto in general, there's really not enough vesting, and it's so critical for a new organization and or any kind of token launch to make sure that the people who you're giving tokens to and the people who are participating in your economy are in it for the long term. And by providing a stream that says, listen, for the next 5 years, you're getting 5 Give every week, you start thinking with the long-term best interest of your community. And that's important for voting. That's important for everything. And even if you come in as a complete degen, like as Paul says, like a degen ape comes in and he's like, I just want yield. I just want yield, right? Well, now that degen ape gets all these Give tokens, but they also get a stream for 5 years, and they start thinking selfishly about, well, I better make sure that the Give economy lasts the next 5 years successfully too.
I think it's a really creative way to frame vesting, or like locked tokens, basically. Like effectively, it's the same thing, right? We could have come out and we could have said, hey, you have all these Give tokens that are locked and they'll unlock, over this many years, or they're vesting, right? But instead of positioning it like that, where it feels like, oh, here's something that we're like almost taking away from you and releasing over time, it's the Give that keeps on giving. So it's like, here's some free Give tokens that probably weren't expecting. Surprise. And guess what? Not only are you getting these Give tokens, but we're going to be giving you Give tokens over the next 5 years. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, reframing vesting in a way that increases contributor longevity and community commitment is really, really interesting. On a somewhat different note, Willie, I know you talked a little bit about the Taurus Wallet as a feature on Giveth.io, and just wanted you to share a little bit more about how that's intended to solve certain onboarding issues, particularly for non-crypto native folks.
Oftentimes what happens is people they copy and paste it, or like take a picture of it or something like that, and have to secure security. So what Taurus does is you create a wallet with either an email, and they support a lot of single sign-on options. So like Twitter, and for a nonprofit, basically what it feels like is like, which they're all familiar with, right? They've already, most of them that have their own built-in security that they can log into, can back up the wallet and feel comfortable enough. But what the onboarding really smooth.
That is so cool. Yeah. I mean, when I think about my biggest concerns in like referring non-crypto friends or family to Giveth is that they'll be excited, they'll see projects they want to give to, and then they'll have like a connect wallet moment where it's just a blind alley, they don't know what to do. So talk about exciting integrations here. This is super cool. Obviously for individuals, for organizations, makes it a whole lot easier for them to get involved on Giveth.io. So for the last section here, I'd like to open the floor to Griff to share a little bit about plans for the future of the Give economy. So Griff, the floor is yours.
Yeah, we want to involve causes and matching, very similar to what Gitcoin does, having some sort of quadratic matching solution, which will be critical for us. Also, we want to integrate Celeste for project verification, flagging, and different integrations there. We're very excited to use Celeste as a subjective oracle. And then the other big one is making the donation platform itself an income generating source, because there's a lot of latent capital in our donation system, where you donate to a project and then it just sits there in their wallet, not earning any interest of any kind when we're in the DeFi space, right? So we want to make the platform be able to generate yield, generate capital by just holding the capital that's latent in the donation process, and then have that interest actually go to buy the Give token on the open market.
Very cool. Yeah, I know that everybody at One Hive is really looking forward to the Garden's launch of Giveth, and new use cases for Celeste is super awesome. And obviously, yeah, I mean, on that last point, if you're getting a lot of capital pushed into these projects that's capable of producing a yield, that's a really interesting, mutually beneficial mechanic there. So super exciting. It's been great to speak with all of you. I hope this is the first of many times we get a chance to chat about the Giveconomy. So y'all take care, and thanks again for joining.
Yeah, thanks a lot, T.
Great meeting you.
Ciao.
See ya.